The things that you will find when you start tracking into their areas: follow game trails, follow deer trails. You'll start finding deer stands, you'll find blinds, you'll find hunting areas. One of my last videos was showing you basically a hunting blind pass through, teaching young ones how to hunt bigger game. Additionally, finding anything that tells you what a food source is. And repeatedly you can find evidence of foraging in the same area. Sometimes that is annually, sometimes it is weekly. It depends on how big their territory is, how many are in their group, and what they are coming for. What are they after? What are they digging for? What are they hunting for? Is it small game? Is it big game? Is it medicine? Is it edible food sources like roots or mushrooms, etc.? Additionally, many of them, especially the Oma and Guanche, use food baskets and food balls and food bundles. So food balls are something that gorillas do. When gorillas forage, they wind their food with vines. So they'll catch or gather the things that they're going to eat with their group later. And they will wrap it. They'll put leaves around it and they'll wrap it in vines. Bigfoot, some of them, do very similar behaviors. So one of the things to look for is any kind of unusual debris in a water area, like a little river, stream, lake, creek, etc., where you have vine. Normally they will use like honeysuckle or ivy, etc., and any kind of little food source item, plants, sponge balls. They use algae sponge balls for drinking water to clean it and give themselves some moisture. So, and tools. Look for tools, cutters, pieces of glass, pieces of stone that have a sharp edge. I've collected a lot of food evidence by looking for food balls. So that's a very good indication. That is a potential hard evidence. And the reason why it is a potential hard evidence is because it correlates to other known behaviors. One of the biggest things about collecting evidence is it has to correlate in some way to other behavior. So if I want to say they're human, I have to find behaviors that correlate to being human. Law, for instance, excuse me, I dropped my phone. Their communication sometimes, the fact that they have language, that's all human. Though some of their calls, some of their behaviors, some of their hunting tactics are also very primate-like. But the amount of tool use and trap use that these people utilize, it's not primate. It's not like any other greater ape that we have on the planet. So I think it would be safe to say they're more like indigenous tribal people. And they do like keep close relations with each other. So if there's one group in one area, and they'll go to the next area over to marry. So there are good relationships between those two groups. You'll see a lot of that. You'll see stone markers in areas like that. You'll see stacked stones. Stacked stones sometimes will indicate how many individuals are in each area. You have to look for the big flat stone in the middle, which divides the one from the other. We see that a lot here. There are other little indications. Once you start seeing what they do and how they do it, you know, collecting bark off a tree, that's for bedding. It's to keep ticks and bugs off you, etc. You know, you understand it once you start seeing it consistently and you start equating it to what the potential behavior can be. That gives you clues as where to look. Once you can isolate, define, and narrow down an area to like a half mile or less in circumference, you then have a good research area where you can get photos, where you can collect evidence, where you can identify the pass-through, where you can identify the foraging behavior. Remember those things. Note those things. Remind yourself of what they are. Remember what an area looks like from time to time. Go into your areas frequently. See what changes, why it changes, when it changes, and what game has changed. Is there a lot of predation? Is there a lot of missing animals?